Click on Katie. I'm so glad you guys showed up, showed the love. I'm gonna get Katie on here, but let me give you a little bit of an intro. Katie played Kendra Mason on Degrassi, one of my all-time favorite characters, someone I never thought that I would ever get to meet, and I'll recap the story of how we met, but basically she played Kendra Mason on Degrassi. She was lost to the Degrassi black hole for about 20-some years, and she came out of the closet as Kendra Mason on my podcast specifically, which is crazy. Taylor and Steve, thank you so much. Katie, I'm going to send you a request. Let me find you here. I'm going to hit invite, and let's see if we get a Katie. I'll be very proud because Katie is an old man when it comes to technology. Stephanie, thank you for the tiny dinies. Let's see, I did hit invite. Balloons from Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie. Oh my God, Katie, did we do it?
Did it work?
Katie, I hear you. Hi, let's see. Oh my God, and we're getting spammed with love and everything. Let's see if we can get your video. If you tap on your profile picture there, is there any type of thing that pops up that says like camera or anything?
Ooh, yes. Hold on a
Let's
sec.
see.
Oh, there we go. I can see me. Hold on. Say. There I am. Hi.
We did it. We're on TikTok live together. Can you believe it?
No, I still don't know quite how I did it either. So yay.
The amazing thing about this is you don't have to touch anything else on your screen for the next 59 minutes. So you just have to sit there and talk to me.
I'm very glad to hear that.
How have you, so for context, Katie doesn't have TikTok. Katie downloaded TikTok just for this. How have you been able to be one of the few people to not be addicted to this app?
Basically because anything that I want to see on TikTok just shows up on Instagram Reels like 5 days later. So
I love that. So you're banking on that?
Yeah, basically I trust everybody to like look at TikTok, separate all the wheat from the chaff, and like put the good stuff onto Instagram, so I don't have to be like doom scrolling. I just get the highlights.
I love that. Well, you are going to be in for a treat. We've got so much going on. If one of my subscribers is in chat, can you post the stickers that we've made for tonight? One of the things you'll notice is if you see this K-Fan, I changed everybody's little tag. It says K-Fan, which stands for Katie Fan, because we love you. You'll also get spammed with gifts, I'm sure, throughout this whole live. And we made little Kendra Black Hole little stickers to spam the chat with, because we're so excited to have you.
You're adorable. That's so cute. Oh,
and right before this, everybody was telling me, like, I got off early from work. I'm sitting in a car right now. So we have 85 people who are just waiting for you to come on live. How are you feeling about your first TikTok experience?
I mean, I think it's a little bit probably out of the ordinary for most people's first TikTok experience. Although I do have probably what a lot of people have seen when you see that like blank profile page and you're like, oh my God, what do I do for my first video? What do I even post? It's so much pressure. It's like looking like when you're trying to do creative writing or something, you've got your blank page open in Word and you're just going, once upon a time? Like, I don't...
Do you think you're going to keep your TikTok and make TikToks?
If I get like struck by divine inspiration and something demands that I do it, then yes. But I can't think of anything that I would use it for right now.
Okay, well, this makes me excited about what kind of portal we've opened up for you. Before we get into any questions, I'm going to have the chat tell us, guys, where are you all from in the world? I'm in Prince Edward Island. Katie, where are you at in the world?
I am in London, England.
London, England. Let's see where the chat is. I know we have some people from, okay, here we go. Iowa, Nevada, Texas, South Carolina, California, Illinois, Chicago, Alabama, Sweden, Manitoba, California, Florida. There's a lot, Northern Ireland, London, Ontario. There we go. Ottawa, Montana, Indiana, Georgia. I think we've determined there are people from literally all over the world in here tonight, Katie, which is pretty freaking cool.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh.
I love that. I'm gonna give I do have a bunch of questions for you, not just like how's TikTok, but I do want to give everybody, if you haven't heard our podcast, kind of the backstory of how Katie and I got connected.
I just saw her chat. Kate's here. Hi, Kate.
Kate's here. Kate, thank you so much for making all of this happen. I think like once a week I'm in Kate's DMs being like, thank you for changing my life. Thank you for making everything happen. I love you so much. But Kate is the one who randomly reached out to me one day and was like, hey, I went to high school with Katie, who played Kendra. We've been trying to make this like Q&A happen. Would you like to have that happen on your platform and interview Katie? And then again, wishful thinking, I was like, sure, yeah, would love that to happen. Probably not going to. And then like a few days later, I get an email from Katie here saying, hey, I'm Katie. I'd love to come on your podcast and tell my story. And now you're officially out of the Degrassi black hole. How does it feel to be out publicly as Kendra Mason?
Honestly, it's still so weird to me because I think we talked about this a bit before. Like, I haven't been recognized as Kendra in a very long time. So I go by Catherine at work. I'm in senior leadership at a pension firm. So it's like I'm just some guy. And then I have all this coming back. I'm like, this is crazy. And it really has reminded me of like how much I loved the industry as a kid and how amazing it felt to be able to connect to people, and to have people like to have people resonate with things that they've seen me do is just it's honestly such an honor. And I've really, really enjoyed kind of reliving that era and yeah, as Jocelyn mentioned, getting back into it over here in the UK with an agent now.
I am so excited. First, I want to ask, so did you ever think at any point, other points in your life, that you might come out as Kendra? And then did you ever wonder like what it would be like and how different is it compared to what you thought?
I haven't really thought about it because I've just been, living my life. Part of the reason why I go by Catherine at work is because I know that my SEO is basically just Kendra. Like if you search my name, you get a pharmacist in Hong Kong, you get somebody who'd like stood up to some company like Erin Brockovich style. I don't know what she did exactly. I forget now. And then you get me. And I've had people who have Googled me, like show me the picture of me with the worst haircut in the world and be like, that's you? And I've been like trying to compartmentalize that part of my life, like in a professional career. I still think like I'm not going to tell people at work because I know for a fact that there's a person on my team who will just never let me live it down ever.
That's incredible. And how has it felt? Like, are you excited to be out? Like, have you been talking to fans at all?
I haven't been talking to fans because there aren't that many here in the UK. Like a lot of people haven't really heard of it, but I do have a friend of mine, who we did our masters together. Her boyfriend now just calls me Degrassi. That's what he calls me now. Like that's my name.
That's my dream. I love that. What about the social media response? Have you been getting any messages from people? Any new followers?
I have. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I got tons of new followers. I made this TikTok, opened it maybe once or twice, and then I opened it today. I was like, why do I have over 200 followers? That's crazy.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I've got some people DMing me on Instagram. Always happy to chat. Like I love getting messages from people. I've had comments on my stories, and especially if it's Degrassi related, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on here because I did not pay attention to the show after I left, and people are explaining things to me, so I'm feeling like I'm getting up to speed on stuff. So it's been really cool, and it's such a great community. Everybody's been so lovely.
Yay! And we're all so excited, and we're all hopeful that you'll keep the TikTok and start making videos and get some ideas.
We'll see.
The thing that makes me the most happiest about this entire experience is that this has reconnected you with your love of acting. Will you tell us a little bit about what you've been up to?
Yeah, absolutely. So I got an agent back in April, thanks to Jocelyn and the People magazine article. I mean, online edition, but still. Oh my God.
We're in People magazine.
I know. I was freaking out. I genuinely like called my mom and I was like, oh my God, look at the link I just sent you.
Me too. I called my mom in here and I cried.
I did tell my mom to come. And so if she shows up, I want everybody here to apologize for making everyone else think it was her fault that I left. It wasn't.
Yes. She'll get an official apology from the Degrassi fan.
Yes, exactly.
Live.
No, so I got an agent back in April. Then in May, I got my boyfriend's ex-roommate to do a photo shoot. He's a musician and also a professional photographer. So he did my new headshots. I just recently did an indie film that I'm going to be putting on my demo reel once it comes out in November. That actually does need some funding still. So I've got the link in my profile if you guys want to do the GoFundMe.
And me too.
Or the indie film that I did a little scene in. It was a very fun scene. It was only one scene, but it was very fun to do and good to get back into that environment and like just get to become somebody else. Like that's the part I love best. And it was a really fun little session, and I hope I get to work with those producers again, because were so much fun and so professional and just really lovely people. And it's so good to be getting back into it. I've done probably about 20 auditions by now as well.
Holy
which is
shit.
great.
I am so proud of you. I'm so freaking excited. And to recap again, I'll mention it a few times tonight. Timmy, thank you for the heart. Thank you for the person who sent the roses as well. In both of our bios, we have a link to the GoFundMe for the film that Katie's in. I already donated, so you guys got to follow suit and get there. Except I did donate in Canadian dollars, and I feel like it immediately was like, Jocelyn donated $20, but I put my Canadian love behind it anyway. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
And we have to be impressed that Katie put a link in her bio. I can't express enough how much Katie does not know how to use the internet. And she put a link in her bio and connected to TikTok Live and made an account for us. So we really got to thank Katie for doing this.
I managed to get my camera going.
I'm so impressed. TikTok has to get better with putting things online, because it has so many guidelines, but it does not say what you need to turn your camera on, and some people can't. I am just so happy that we get to see you and that you're here.
This is also the first time I've ever used TikTok for anything other than just like putting my link in the bio. So when I had all those notifications like, oh, allow TikTok to use your camera, and I was like, yes. My microphone. Okay. Oh my God.
I love that.
Apologies for the delay, but I'm here now.
Oh, you're here, and we're gonna have so much fun. Timmy's sending gifts, Kate's sending gifts. Thank you so much. Another thing, if you guys are a fan, I'm gonna take this time to plug something else. If you guys are a fan of Katie, we did a collab where you get an autograph from her. These have been flying off the shelves like hotcakes. If you want an autograph photo of Katie's haircut that she hates, you can get this in a Patreon package, or you can get this one signed. There's two options. You can get the group photo. I think, is Drake in this? Drake's not in this. That's okay. I think he might be cut off. But we have Katie, and she looks so freaking cute. And one of the things that I love about Katie is she is such a champion for the whole black hole thing. So we made a sticker that says, I survived the Degrassi black hole. So if you would like to get one of these, you can go to patreon.com/DegrassiKid and add a Kendra Mason autograph to your collection. It makes me feel so cool that I'm the person who gets to get autographs from each Degrassi fans. Like, that makes me feel like the coolest person in the world.
Well, you have made me feel so cool. So honestly, I thank you so much. And Kate for hooking us up. Awesome.
Kate, thank you for being the best. Also, who just sent me sunglasses? Tawny, thank you for the sunglasses. Tawny, she's the boss where she works, and she said that she gave herself time off early so she could come to this. So shout out to Tawny for all of the love. Does anyone in chat have questions? I have 100,000 questions for Katie, but first we'll give you guys the opportunity to see if you'd like to ask Katie anything. I'll wait for a moment for the chat to catch up. While I wait for questions from the chat, will you walk me through how you reacted to the People magazine article? How did you find out about it? Like, give me that whole story.
I think Kate actually sent it to me. Kate sent me on Facebook Messenger. She was like, hey, by the way. And I opened it and I was like, oh my God. Like, I remember when I was little, so I was telling Jocelyn about this as well. I didn't know that Mark Donato was on Degrassi, but he and I worked together a lot when we were kids. Like, he was actually my first little boyfriend. We were super cute. Every time we were on set, he'd be like, have his arm around me, and we'd be looking at I Spy books. And every time we saw each other on auditions, we'd like run towards each other, and he'd like pick me up and swing me around in front of my mother. But I read, he was in a movie once with Haley Joel Osment. And that movie caught him a little write-up in a magazine. And when I was like probably 13 or 14, I had this little clipping out of the magazine like that he was interviewed in. I probably still have it somewhere in my parents' garage at home. But so when I saw the People magazine article, I was like, oh, if 14-year-old Katie could have seen that, and like I probably would have pasted it next to Mark Donato's article, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I know. I wish they would have given us the pleasure of a print copy. I would have went and spot out that whole freaking store. But internet's pretty cool. E-version's still pretty freaking cool.
I mean, yeah, I'll take it.
It makes me feel
the Times India thing though. So I don't know if you saw after that, the Times India like did one of those web scraping things, and I don't know if it was a bored intern or terrible AI, but they like dramatize the article, and they were like, oh, and Katie like bursts into tears sobbing, and the interviewer is so so affected by it. And I was like, that never happened.
That's not what happened at all.
That's not how it is. No, that was not. I was there. I'm pretty sure that's not how it went. And I tried to at them on Instagram, and they do not allow themselves to be tagged. And I was like, because you're spreading misinformation. This is fake news.
Yeah, this is fake news. And they put the wrong Katie. We know the Katie they put Katie Matlin, who's a character, not you.
That was just someone they found online for like sad teen gets bullied.
The girl, her name in real life is Chloe Rose. She probably got like that DM to her and was like, did you know that this happened? And she's like, what? I have no idea. Okay.
Yeah,
Questions in chat. Garjix wants to know, who was the best, someone that you connected with on set? Did you have like a set best friend?
Moni, RIP, which I only found out weirdly. Okay, so this is how much I do not use social media. Moni and I were friends on Facebook. And after I did the interview with Jocelyn, I'd mentioned Moni a couple of times. And I went to her Facebook to be like, hey, long time no see, guess what? And all I saw was like, RIP with the angels, it's been 6 years. And I was like, oh my God, I haven't been on Facebook in that long. And also Moni died. Oh my God.
What a crazy way to find out. Oh my God.
But yeah, like we had sleepovers. We went to see Pirates of the Caribbean in theaters. We went shopping all the time. Like she was such a sweetheart, like just the loveliest girl. We did a bunch of volunteer work together as well. Most of the cast did. We went to Toronto Island to the yacht club, and we did like a sick kids kind of fundraising charity event where they got to meet us and we got to hang out on their boats and things like that all day. And so yeah, Moni and I were with another kid who I can't remember. I think most of them were sick in the hospital at some point, but we were hanging out with her. We made little friendship bracelets. Like it was really sweet. But yeah, Moni and I were super close. And then after I left, she left as well.
Oh, okay. Well, it's so cute to know you guys got those moments together. There was Kimmy in chat said, I knew Moni from Easter Seals Camp a few years ago. That is incredible. She played, oh my gosh.
Nadia. Yeah, she played Nadia, and she was in a wheelchair and used a walker in real life. But then we joked that when she left, she kind of took away the diversity requirement, and that's why they had to put Aubrey in a wheelchair, because they didn't have a wheelchair kid anymore.
Oh my God. I really like that. That's true. That is also one of the critiques of Degrassi is they don't really, there's once, and near the very last season they do this, but they don't have a lot of kids who are born with disabilities on the show. It's always a big tragedy that causes it. So that is one of the things. And if she had stayed on the show, she could have... Yeah. Maybe if she stayed on the show, she would have become a rapper as big as Drake. Maybe that's the reverse. Maybe that's the alternate timeline. If we didn't fall into the black hole, that's what's on the other side of the black hole.
Oh, I want to live in that timeline. That'd be so funny.
That would be sick. You would be pulled out on stage and everything.
Oh my God.
Kat wants to know, how do you feel about the fact that you missed the big moment on Degrassi, which is the school little pew-pew?
I found out, I think I like vaguely had heard about it as it was happening, because a lot of kids in my school, like I was still in high school when I stopped shooting the show. And so there was still some kids who were watching it, and they'd come up to me like, oh my God, did you know this happened? And I'd be like, cool. But yeah, so I found out about it, I think maybe like a month or two after it had aired. And I was like, oh, such a wasted opportunity. Like I was such a huge fan of CSI when I was in high school, and I was like, I would spend like as I was going to bed, I would like try and lie as still as possible to like pretend to be a dead body so I could be on CSI. And I was like,
incredible.
Would have been so cool for me to have like practiced that not breathing, like not making your diaphragm rise up and down to be but alas, and it would have answered a lot of questions as well. So I was kind of like, if only I had known, I would have like talked to them and been like, so here's how I want to get written out.
Yes, exactly. And then in that timeline, your parents wouldn't get so much flack for this whole Toby Keck thing.
Because it would have been a plot choice.
It would have been a plot choice. Well, in a little bit, I'm actually going to tell you a few more details about this school shooting. Well, I'll let the chat decide if they want that to happen.
My mom's here. Hi, Mom.
Your mom's here? Oh my gosh, which one?
Jane C saying hello, Catherine.
Jane C. Hi, Jane C. Okay. Jane, on behalf of the entire Degrassi fandom, we would really like to apologize that a rumor got started that you didn't like that her character was supposed to have sex on TV, and so you pulled her out of the show. I didn't start that rumor. I never perpetuated that rumor, but I would like, all of us here would like to say sorry to you on behalf of the fandom. We know that you're cool, and thank you for being here. Also, is it true that she's the only one in your family with TikTok? That's incredible. So she's all familiar with what's going on here.
Yeah. Mom is the only one who's watching right now. I literally didn't even put it in my family group chat. I just sent the link to my mom because I knew that no one else was going to be able to watch it.
Oh. So. Welcome, Mama Lai. We're so happy to have you. If you're not familiar with the Degrassi lore, there were so many rumors about why Katie left Degrassi, and one of them was that there was supposed to be a hookup scene between Kendra and Toby, and that your parents were upset about that. And then Katie on her podcast was like, "No, that is not even close to what happened." So now we can set the record straight, and we're sorry. It also, I don't even know how that rumor got started because Kendra is so adamantly like, we are not having sex with each other. So how in the next season is it going to be like, yeah, we're going to have a big old sex scene enough that my parents are going to be mad about it? That would be crazy.
Yeah, Mom watched the show in the 80s. Like, when I got the audition, I was like, I had no idea. And Mom was like, oh my God, it's Degrassi. That's so cool. It's an institution. And so, yeah, she was totally familiar with all of the plot lines and like all of the drama and all the things that can happen to teenagers all happen at this one school. So if she had had a problem with it, she would not have let me do it in the first place, which she has done before. There was a movie that I got when I was maybe 5 or 6 where I was supposed to get shot and then die drowning in a pool of my own blood. And my mom was like, no, I'm not letting my daughter do that. And I was so mad at her. I was like, please, look, maybe it's a thing. I want to die dramatically on screen. That's all I want.
Like, perfect. And then maybe the people at CSI would have seen you and it could have been your big break.
Another timeline. Missed. Ruined. Oh, can't
all these things are happening on the other side of the black hole. I know it. Also, someone pointed in my chat, we've hit 100 viewers. We have 100 viewers on our TikTok live. Woohoo! Shell wants to know, what was it like working with Jake Goldsby? Did you have fun working with your TV boyfriend?
So Jake and I actually worked together and saw each other a lot at auditions when we were kids, like much younger. He and I did an episode of something, Hello Mrs. Cherrywinkle, I believe it was called. It was a children's show where I was maybe 6 or 7. We had faces painted on our chins and we were upside down telling jokes and stuff.
Oh yes, that's so cute.
Yeah, we worked together and we saw each other at auditions a lot before Degrassi even. So we were like vaguely aware of each other. And then when we saw each other on set, we were like, hey. And then I told Jocelyn this, but the first kiss scene, that was actually my very first IRL kiss. And I was devastated that I didn't get to pick who it was. But they had originally written 2 kisses into that scene. We did the table read, and Jake and I both, like, when they read the stage directions, we put our hands down, we went, ew! So they wrote out the second kiss.
That is so teenhood. I love that so much. That is so cute. Another question, Canuck Guy and a few people in chat want to know, do you have a favorite Kendra moment?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I think anytime she gets to be sassy, and she's such a sassy character, like, that was mostly not even acting.
I love that. My favorite Kendra moment, because I think I referenced it in our interview together a million times, is when she shoves Toby against the locker and is like, I'm not having sex with you, I'm 13 years old. That is I think my favorite Degrassi scene. It's incredible.
That was a lot of fun, I do have to say.
I have a fan question for you because in my heart, I have always believed that Kendra is a lesbian. I think my thing is if she had stayed at Degrassi, I think her and Toby would have broken up, but stayed friends. I mean, they were all nerdy and in this little club together. But then I think she would have maybe had a crush on a girl, maybe even a crush on a girl that Spinner is into. Who knows? Maybe cause a little drama. I want to know, if Kendra did become a lesbian, which Degrassi character do you think she'd have a crush on?
I don't know. Because obviously there's the whole, like, there's a lot of nuance to lesbianism. And I don't know, because obviously Kendra was a little more on the butch side of things, whereas like I myself am
haircut.
obviously quite femme presenting. So I don't know if she would be like butch for butch, or if she'd be more like attracted to the femme side of things, because there weren't really a whole lot of tomboys on the show other than Kendra.
No.
So I mean, she wouldn't have had a whole lot of choice among the characters that I am familiar with if she were into tomboys as well. But I don't know, maybe there's someone in a later season I'm not familiar with.
I would love to ask the chat, who do you think Kendra would have a crush on?
Mom says Lauren. Paige. Mom says Paige. Yeah, Lauren and I go back way back as well. Lauren's a sweetheart. She is currently, my sister sees her a lot. She's a casting director assistant. And so my baby sister, who's also an actor, sees her all the time when she's out at auditions. And every time I'm like, tell Lauren I said hi. But
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, do you know that Lauren Collins plays a bisexual character and dates a girl on Degrassi?
Does she actually?
That could be Kendra.
Oh my God, there we go. Done.
Yeah, she has a big old thing and they like make out with each other. Anyway, would have been amazing in an alternate timeline. I have a question for the chat. So one of the things that I think we might enjoy, I'll let you guys decide, is we have two options. We can either keep pulling questions from chat and ask them to Katie, or we can tell Katie the lore that leads up to this big school event. Let me do a poll here. Here, we're going to do this. We're going to do a poll. We can either ask Katie questions from the chat, or we can dive into the events of this big situation in season 4 and hear her reactions, because they're about characters she knows. Toby and Spinner are kind of the big catalyst. So I'm going to let you guys decide. The smiley face vote is we're going to keep asking Katie questions, and the cry is we're going to talk about season 4. Up to you guys, and you have to actually tap on it. Tap on the one that you want.
Porque no los dos, estoy de acuerdo.
Oh, it's going to go back and forth. Ooh! Oh, I think this is overwhelmingly, they want to talk about the big moment in season 4. Wow, 12-35. We'll see what the final score is. But smiley face is we keep asking Katie questions. Cry face is we're going to tell her about the details of season 4. Katie, are you okay to learn about the details of season 4 and react to them?
I'm ready.
Okay,
I am ready.
I probably should have asked your consent about that first before I'm like, everybody vote on what you want Katie to do.
I'm just here for the ride. I'm just having a good time.
It's pretty interesting. Okay, I think they'll by a landslide. They want to hear about season 4.
Okay.
I will tell you guys too, we will have enough room for at least 1 or 2 people to come on and ask Katie a question. So if you want to do that, we'll do that later. But the poll has decided we're going to tell Katie about the school shooting. Actually, I got to try to use TikTok friendly words and not call it that. So I'm just going to call it the incident, the event, or something like that. But Katie, how much do you know so far about the events that unfold in season 4?
I know there was an event and it had a consequence. All I know is that, yeah, Aubrey ended up in a wheelchair. And that's it.
Well, what's crazy?
I don't know if anybody expired. I don't know who it was. I don't know what caused it. I know nothing about it.
Oh, someone does pass away in this. And I think what's really the most interesting for this, and why we specifically want to hear your point of view, is because if Kendra had stayed at Degrassi, she would have very much been wrapped up in this. The long story short, the summary of it is that the person who does that event is Toby's best friend. And the person who does that event, the reason he does it is because Spinner bullies him into doing it. Well, accountability covers.
Because I thought JT was Toby's best friend.
They end up falling apart. Okay, let's dive into it. Okay. Let's dive into it, because we're going to get juicy. The first question I actually have for you is, the person who did the event is Ephraim Ellis, who was on season 3. Did you ever get to work with him?
I met him once because he was in Jake Epstein's band and they played a cast party for season, I think, 3 rap party.
That is the sickest way to know him. That is so cool. Well, he is Rick Monroe. No, he is Rick Murray on Degrassi. He is the person who ends up doing the event. And what I have basically in front of me is I have kind of an outline of what's happened and then pause to ask either your reaction or how do you think Kendra might be a part of it. We'll talk about it. So basically in season 3, in your seasons, what happens is Rick, he is an abusive boyfriend and he ends up hurting Terry McGregor. She's played by Christina Schmidt, ends up hurting her to the point that she's temporarily unconscious and it causes a big deal at school. That's season 3. In season 4, Terry has moved to a private school. She's away from Degrassi, but she doesn't press any charges or anything. So Rick is allowed to come back to Degrassi. Of course, characters like Spinner and Paige, who are best friends with Terry, are upset that he's allowed to come back. And they end up doing this big, like, they do like an anti-violence campaign at the school where they're like raising money and they're putting up posters. Everybody's wearing bracelets because it's a way to make Rick feel uncomfortable without technically breaking any of the rules at the school. And Emma is a big like cause girl. Like she's always in on the drama and stuff. So she is right in the center of this. She's arranging everything. So the big catalysts are kind of Spinner, Paige, Emma, and there's another bully who's joined the school named Jay Hogarth. Where do you think Kendra would fit into that? Do you think that she would be against, like, do you think she would be in kind of joining the anti-Rick campaign, or do you think she'd kind of be like, oh, I should stay out of this?
Well, she didn't have a whole ton of interaction with the kids in the higher grade, but if she'd stayed like boyfriend, girlfriend with Toby, maybe she'd have been more involved in their social circles. So I feel like she'd be, I feel like Kendra's a feminist. Yeah. I'm a feminist. I feel like Kendra would be as well. So she'd be obviously very anti-violence. Unless she was the one perpetrating it during hockey practice. That's very different.
That is true. That is true. So I think we can at least decide Kendra would at least have a bracelet on. We maybe even get a background scene of her buying one of the bracelets. Okay, cool. Okay. The other backdrop that's kind of happening here is, so Rick is not welcome at Degrassi. He is not having a good time. But also at the same time, JT and Toby are kind of falling apart. I don't know if you even remember in season 3, there's a scene with all of you together and Toby's kind of gazing at JT because JT's now hanging out with the older kids, the cooler kids. All of that. No, you don't remember. Okay. You guys were playing chess for the Rooks and Knights Society. Anyway, I remember it. There's this big thing where JT and Toby have started to fall apart. And Rick and Toby, because of this, they start becoming friends. They're assigned together to work on projects together. There's this quiz team that they're paired together. He's very much a nerd. So they're growing together. Him and JT are growing apart. But through Rick becoming friends with Toby, Kendra's boyfriend, he's kind of getting approval. Like Toby's vouching for him. People were able to learn more about him as a character. We were able to learn his nerdy side. And one of the things that they do, Emma Nelson originally hates Rick, wants him out of the school. But Toby's friends with him now. She's friends with Toby. They do a kissing contest. Whoever can get Emma Nelson to kiss them wins role-playing dice. And then they both get Emma to kiss her. She finds it endearing. Or they get Emma to kiss her. They hit them. They feel endeared. They get the role-playing dice. They amp it up more and try to get more girls at the school to kiss them. How would Kendra react if Toby and his friends were asking for kisses for this competition?
If they hadn't been broken up, they would have been by then. Like
100%.
First of all, that's how you get mono.
Yes.
That is how you get mono.
Ew. I like that.
Second of all, ew. That's so sexist. Ew. No.
I know. It's not my favorite thing in the world. It's also crazy. If you watch the episode, I watched it back to kind of get the bullet points. And like the fact that Emma forgives Rick because she's like, oh, nobody wants to kiss him. I feel bad for him. She was in the hallways selling anti-violence bracelets to get him kicked out of the school, like literally the scene before. And then she's like, oh. But that's the situation that gets Emma on his side. We're going to kind of slowly learn that everybody starts getting on his side. But this situation, oh yeah, kiss on the cheek, by the way, not on the mouth. It was still
so you won't get mono, but still.
Yeah, I should clarify. So this situation, it creates more opportunities for us to feel bad for Rick. You know, he's getting rejected. So Toby starts kind of throwing him a bone, asking girls to kind of go kiss him on the cheek. And then where am I? Oh, but at the same time, Spinner and Jimmy and this Jay Hogarth character hate him, slamming into his lockers, breaking his stuff, throwing him into dumpsters. How do you think Kendra would react if she saw Spinner throwing another student into a dumpster?
I mean, Kendra has also slammed someone into a locker, so I feel like
Mason
Kendra and Spinner probably had quite a bit of roughhousing going on growing up. Like, I feel like there was definitely a lot of, like, he started it, no, she started it. So I don't think Kendra personally would have had a problem with that, especially if it was, like, somebody who is, like, making her boyfriend into a gross person. She'd be like, yeah, okay, go for it.
I love that. Okay, we see now. Kendra's upset that Rick is changing Toby. I like this. We're building a brand new season 4 here. I'm here for this.
I love it.
I love it.
Take on it. Let's go.
I love it. This is also very fun for us because you were gone for 20 years, so we've had no idea what you've ever thought about this, and you're the character who is missing from this plot line. So to hear your reactions to this is very cool. I again feel cool that I get to kind of break this down and tell this to you while fans get to hang out with us. It's pretty cool. The biggest backdrop, like the event that's happening at Degrassi at this time, is that there's a quiz show. So Toby's on the quiz team, Rick's on the quiz team, Emma's on the quiz team, and Mr. Simpson decides to put Jimmy on the quiz team because there's this big there's this anger brewing. They're all bullying Rick. Rick is even like going to the principal and being like, please help me. This is who's bullying me. This is like what's going on. And the principal says, I have hundreds of kids I have to take care of. I can't force anyone to be your friend. Come back when something serious happens, which is crazy. But Mr. Simpson tries to intervene. He puts Jimmy on the team. And there's still a lot of like Spinner still bullying him, Jay Hogarth still bullying him. But this is where we get a human element out of Rick for Jimmy. So Jimmy starts to feel bad for him. He's like, hey, he's just struggling. So Rick, Toby, Emma, and Jimmy, they're all getting along. They're all doing the quiz show. The quiz show is going on. They're winning. They're getting every single round, getting every single question. So Jimmy's now kind of back in. He's not bullying him anymore. He says sorry for the dumpster thing. But there's a moment in the boys' bathroom where they've just done the quiz show. Rick and Jimmy and Emma, Toby, they're all getting every question right. And Rick and Jimmy are in the bathroom together, hanging out. And then Spinner and Jay come in. And this is a moment where we see Jimmy stand up for Rick and say, like, hey, leave him alone. Stop bullying him. And Spinner and Jay agree. They say, okay, like, you did a great job. We'll leave you alone. Like, we see that you're trying. Like, good luck on the final round. And the final round is going to involve one person from the team standing up on stage and doing kind of a speed round. And they ask Jimmy, they say, Jimmy or Rick, are you going up? And Jimmy says, oh, it's way better that it's him than me. And they kind of praise Rick for being a smart guy. In your point of view, how do you think this could possibly now go bad? Do you have any thoughts or theories?
I mean, it sounds like everyone's starting to get along.
Okay, so you have no theories.
We're talking about the incident, but it sounds like everybody's like kind of coming around, and I mean, poor Terry, because everyone's clearly picking someone else's side on this. But yeah, if he's gonna have to be around, you may as well, I guess, make nice.
Okay, I like this. This is true. Emma's now on his good side. Jimmy's friends with him again. Spinner and Jay start to be treating him nice. So this is then what happens, where this trivia contest is aired on TV. It's being aired all across the schools. It's like Rick is feeling high on life. Everybody likes him again. Emma's just kissed him a few days ago. He has his best friend, Toby. And he gets on center stage. He gets asked all of these questions. Every single thing. Yes, yes, yes. Ding, 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 ding. Degrassi wins. He stands in the center of the stage. A bucket of paint and feathers falls down on him, and this whole thing has been a prank. And this is the catalyst moment. I'm going to assume Kendra would be in the crowd. How do you think Kendra would react to watching this unfold? Especially knowing her brother is probably behind it.
Yeah, I mean, Kendra would definitely 100% have seen the movie Carrie at this point and would know what happens next in Carrie. And fun side fact, I did background work on the Toronto production of Carrie in 16.
You've been in everything. You've been everywhere. Like, every time I say a word, Katie's like, well, by the way, me or someone in my family.
I did a ton of background work for like 5 years. But yeah, anyway, so sidebar aside, Kendra would definitely have seen Carrie at this point, or have read it, or have been aware culturally of what happens when a student is covered in paint on the top of the stage after everybody has pretended to be nice to them. So Kendra hopefully would have been smart enough to leave, but for the plot, let's just say she's like, yeah, go Big Brother.
Yeah, well, plus on the inside, Katie's like, I really want to die in this episode. So
yes, well, that's exactly. That's why I'm like,
I'm Spinner's brother. I'm Spinner's brother. I'm Spinner's sister. Pick me.
I gave him the idea.
I laughed when you were in a dumpster. So here, I got a lot of details now, because this is where we have the catalyst of what happened. Everyone is laughing at him. JT is making fun of Toby for being friends with such a loser. Spinner and Jay are laughing about how good the prank went. And Rick is trying to go to all of his friends. He's trying to reach out to them now. He goes to Toby. Toby's with JT and all this stuff, so it's kind of hard to talk to him. He goes to Emma for support, and Emma says she feels so bad for him. He completely misreads the situation. Keep in mind, he's covered in paint and feathers in this moment. He completely misreads the situation and grabs her and tries to make out with her. And she pushes him away and says, oh my God, gross. Like, I was just trying to feel bad for you. Get a clue. So now he's even more upset. He's being extra rejected. So he ends up on screen. This is what we know. The Degrassi kids don't know this, but we know this. Rick decides to go home, and that's when he goes into his dad's locker, and he gets the
Apparatus.
Yes, the apparatus. So, but nobody at Degrassi knows that. So then Rick comes back to Degrassi. This is again where we really see GT being like, look at this loser. I can't believe he's here. Da, 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 da. And Spinner and Jay are laughing. So the first person he goes to in the episode is Paige Michalchuk. Paige was best friends with Terry. Like, she's the one who found her in the woods kind of thing. And it's very clear in this scene that he's going to target Paige, our beloved Lauren Collins. And she has no idea what's in his backpack at the time, but she actually goes up to him and she says, I'm so sorry. All of this has gone way too far. It's disgusting. I'm mortified by what's happened to you. And I'm really sorry that this is happening. And we see him kind of put the backpack down and decide not to do anything. And at this point, it kind of seems like he puts his bag in his locker. He goes to the bathroom to clean up. It kind of seems like he's not going to do what he intended to do. But then Spinner Mason again gets involved. So Rick is in the bathroom cleaning up. Spinner and Jay walk in. Rick runs into a stall and they notice the paint and feathers everywhere. So they know that he's there. And they decide, they nudge each other and they go, we're so glad the prank went so well. If it wasn't for Jimmy pulling all the strings and making sure that Psycho was alone on stage, none of this would have ever happened. We have to thank Jimmy for putting all this together. However, Jimmy did not put any of this together. He was actually friends with Rick and actually trying to stand up for him. So now Rick, he's been rejected by Emma. Everybody's making fun of him. He believes that Jimmy has played this whole prank just to prank him and none of his life is real. And he starts hunting the hallways for Jimmy Brooks. And that is the incident that leads to Wheelchair Jimmy. There's a little bit more. In the show, we don't know what happens to Jimmy at first. He just leaves and he goes hunting for Emma Nelson next. And he points the apparatus at Emma and Sean Cameron ends up saving her. They get into kind of a scuffle, and then the apparatus goes off and we don't know which one of them has been affected by it. But ultimately, I know in the next episode, the very last kind of wrap up to this is that we find out that Jimmy's in the hospital. We don't know what is going to happen to him. He does end up just becoming paralyzed. We find out that Sean has a little graze on his arm, but ultimately it was Rick who lost his life. So at the end of this, Spinner is now, his whole life has fallen apart because he got Jimmy shot. And Toby has now lost his one best friend in this really complicated kind of way. What are your thoughts about knowing all of the details about the school shooting?
Wow.
Overall,
I had no idea of any of the nuance around that. I literally thought it was like a mass thing. Like I was picturing like Columbine, just like random scattered whoever. So like that's why I was like, oh, I totally could have just been like, I don't know, a bystander. But no, I would have had to have been targeted. But yeah, wow. I can just like imagine people's minds being blown because mine just was completely.
And that's why we're so interested about Kendra, because Kendra was dating Toby, and they at least I think would have stayed friends if they broke up. And that was her brother is like terrorized this, and then the rest of like season 4 and 5 is pretty much Spinner just like he gets kicked out of school. All of his friends hate him. They don't want to be around him anymore. He works at the Dot, so that makes it even more awkward. So there, you are fully caught up. Chat. What do we think about the fact that Katie now knows everything there is to know about the school situation?
Wow. I just like I feel like Kendra would have been on Spinner's side, not in a way that like, oh, Rick deserved it, but it would have been like, hey, it wasn't your fault. Like, you didn't have the apparatus. You didn't give it to him. Like, you were standing up for your friend who's in the hospital now because of this guy. Like, yeah, it was a little bit convoluted and a little bit extra maybe, but like, I feel like Kendra would have been, because even though she and Spinner like fought like siblings, they're still siblings. Like they're still family. They're still going to be there for each other. So I feel like Kendra probably would have been trying not to get ostracized at school by showing her support for Spinner, or maybe is shoving more people into lockers if they're talking bad about him. But I feel like she would definitely have been like there for him. I feel like she would have been trying to make him feel less guilty, because I'm sure that's a lot of what that was.
Exactly. I like that. And I think Degrassi's good at that. It's good at taking moments where someone does a bad thing and shows that like the nuance of all of it. Yeah. Like, okay, well, my brother. Exactly. Okay. Well, I feel complete. I know that we also talked about it on the podcast. I want to say, so Spinner and Emma end up getting married. And for context, the amount of time that you spent on camera with Shane Kipple is about the amount of same time that Miriam spent on camera with Shane Kipple. And they end up getting married. I know we've talked about it before, but what do you think about the fact that Spinner and Emma get married?
Yeah, that is nuts to me, because I didn't know that was ever a thing. I didn't know that they were ever together. And you were like, oh, it was just kind of like a last minute wedding in Vegas kind of thing. And I was like, random. That is random.
It is random. Is there, if you had have in, season 3 era, you had have heard 2 people from this season are going to get married, 2 characters, who would you have guessed it to be? Definitely not Spinner and Emma. No, because who were they even dating at that point? I don't remember. JT was pursuing Paige at the time. There's a lot of Spinner was dating Paige at the time, actually.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. And obviously Toby and Kendra were dating, so
they got married.
Who else was even dating at that point? I don't remember. I do not remember any of the... Yeah.
I feel like any 2... Oh, that was cute. Taylor sent a little kiss thing, a little like pop. What we're gonna do, we have about 10 or so minutes left with Katie. What we're gonna do is we're gonna let some Degrassi fans come on and ask questions. Before we do that, we want to promote Katie. What is the name of the film that you're in that's doing the GoFundMe? Can you remind me?
It is called Drift.
Drift is doing a GoFundMe. Katie appears in this film, and it is linked in both of our bios. So if you would like to help support Katie's career, since coming out of the Degrassi Black Hole, we got 20 years to catch up on, baby. We got to get some movies made. You can go to the link in our bio. But first, before we have people join us, we're going to show Katie what it is like here on our TikTok lives. And we're going to do a tap train. If we get to 50,000 likes in 10 seconds, we will allow 2 or 3, how much we have time for, 2 or 3 Degrassi fans come on to talk to Kendra, okay? This might feel overwhelming. I'm going to scream at the screen for about 10 seconds, okay? You're going to find out. We are doing a tap train tonight. I'm going to start at 10 and count down to 0. This is where I scream for 10 straight seconds. So just if you have to have sensory headphones, this is the time to do it. We're going to show Katie what this means. In 10 seconds, we're going to get to 50,000 likes, and then we're going to let 2 lucky Degrassi fans come on and ask Katie a question. I'm going to start at number 10. You're going to start tapping your screen. And we always usually play a fun game. At the end of your tapping, a number is going to pop up here to say how many times you liked the live. If you see that number, comment it, because that's how many minutes we're going to manifest that Kendra Mason ends up in the Degrassi reboot someday, okay? So we're going to start at 10. We're going to work our way down. 10. Bailey's liking the live. Dave's liking the live. Lil Panap's liking the live. 9. Natalia's liking the live. Carla's liking the live. Shelly's here. Hi, Shelly. Christian's liking the live. 8. Kella's liking the live. Juice is here. Sebastian's liking the live. Nessa's liking the live. 7. Samantha's joyed. Squid Boy's here. Jazz. Froggy's liking the live. Rachel, 6. This is where I forget what number I've said before, so who knows what number I'm at. Big Mella, O'Fell's joined the live, liking the live. Slay's liking the live. Megan's liking the live. 5. We have a puppy now. We got an extra like the live. Lizzie's liking the live. Ned is liking the live. Robert's here. 4. Kate, Dave. Big Mella's liking the live. 3. Megan's liking the live. Scanner's liking the live. Shelby, 2. Epically me. Big Crispy. 1 more. Epically me and Shell's liking the live. We got to 1. We got to 56,000 likes. In less than 10 seconds, we got over 10,000 likes on our live, Katie. How do you feel about that? Was that overwhelming?
I don't know what that means, but thank you.
It means that, so every time people interact with our live, whether they send us gifts or well, first of all, the gifts, anytime you see something appear on your face, that is someone giving you money, by the way. I don't know if you know that about TikTok Live. So every time something appears in your face, you are getting a gift. And when people tap the screen, it helps us get on more people's For You pages. And this is how many minutes we are manifesting for you in the reboot. Shelby tapped 315 times. Kate sent 91 likes. Thank you, Kate. 455, 523, 472. This is how many times people tap the screen. Dave is sending you roses. Dave is sending you lots of love. 459, 222, 956. Kylea, thank you so much. We actually got up to 60,000 likes in that 10-second time.
Wow.
I know. Are you feeling excited about getting a...
Yumi, I'm babysitting her.
Oh, yeah. What's the puppy's name?
Her name is Yumi. We're babysitting her because we've got about 6 or 7 regular dogs, and she's with us for the whole month of August, and I wanted her to say hi.
Oh my God, that's incredible. Hi, welcome. Also, thank you for the paper crane. That was huge. Thank you to Lizzie's for sending the roses. We love puppies. I think that's probably why we actually got 20,000 likes, is because we had a puppy. And we're getting our live goals hit, Katie. Oh my God, did we hit most of my live goal? Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I love having a celebrity on my live because then I hit all my goals. I guess I should tell people how to become a guest. I kind of forgot about that part. If you want to join and ask Katie a question, you're going to see down at the bottom, it's going to see plus guests or plus join. Click that, and then we're going to pick a random person to come on live with us. I was hoping we would see Jolene tonight. I don't know if we'll see Jolene, but long story short, on my Patreon, there's a producer option where you can help throw some support towards some things. Jolene helped me get some of the things printed for our collab. So cool. And she helped me with planning this TikTok. So this is technically sponsored by Jolene.
Oh, big thanks, Jolene.
Thank you, Jolene. I don't know if she's here, but if she pops in, we'll get her. Okay, we got a whole bunch of people here. I'm going to start at the very top. We're going to get Taylor. Taylor's one of my moderators, too. Taylor?
Hello.
Hi, Taylor. Hi. Where are you calling from?
Today I'm calling from California, but normally I'm calling from Kansas.
Wow. And do you have a question or a comment for Katie?
I have a question, yes.
Ask us.
And this can be in any type of context, but who on the show would you have liked to have a different relationship with? Like, instead of Spinner being your brother, like, who would you like to be siblings with? Or instead of Toby, who would you like to have, I guess, more storylines or more of a connection with?
Ooh, that's a very good question. I did like the sibling relationship with Spinner. I liked that a lot. And I think, Jocelyn, you did ask me if I could have another sibling on the show. I don't know. But if I could have been better friends with anyone, I feel like Kendra probably would have been better friends with Marco. A, because Adamo and I carpooled to the set. And B, I just feel like they'd have that, like, lesbian gay alliance.
I love that. That's what I wanted.
Katie, in your mind, is Kendra a lesbian, or is it just the haircut?
I don't know. It really could have gone that way. Honestly, it really could have gone that way.
We're writing it into the canon. Taylor, thank you. I thought Taylor was going to ask a question about hot dogs because Taylor's obsessed with hot dogs. And one time she even did a presentation. We do like PowerPoint nights in our community. And she did, I know, it's pretty fun. She did one where she compared Degrassi characters to hot dogs and like they were spot on. So next time, Taylor, you'll have to give us a Kendra hot dog.
It would definitely
I miss street meats so much. I have to say they do not have it here in the UK. They have hot dogs in glass jars and they freak me out. So
that's weird. That's very strange.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't
it's
want
very
that
gross.
one.
You're too young to be seeing hot dogs in water. Mm-mm.
That's up there with bagged milk up here in Canada. Taylor, do you have a thought on what Kendra's hot dog would be?
It would definitely, I think, be like a vegetarian option. Kind of gives off the same vibes. I think I said something similar with Emma. So I think it would definitely be vegetarian and maybe like something with like grilled onions and just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. Something along those lines, I guess.
Yeah, I'm down with that. That sounds great.
I think it's one of those situations, you know, when you're at a barbecue and you set your hot dog down and your drink down and then you look and you're like, where'd it go? And just never comes back again. That's what I think Kendra is a hot dog.
Wow,
this disappeared.
Perfect. Absolutely.
It was swooped by a seagull.
Yeah.
Away, never to be seen again.
Amazing. Taylor, enjoy your trip to California. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Amazing. I'll get another fan up here. I'm going to pick totally random. Let's see. Let's do this one. Jenny?
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny. Where are you from in the world? I know, but Katie doesn't know.
Toronto.
Toronto! Home roots! And do you have a question for Katie?
I don't, actually.
Do you have anything you'd like to just say to Katie?
You were amazing as Kendra. That's all I want to say.
Thank you.
I love that. Is there anything that made you like Kendra as a character?
Pardon? Sorry, say that again?
Is there what made you like Kendra as a character?
I just liked her relationship with Toby. I thought that was really cute.
I like that. Well, Jenny, thanks for calling in from Toronto, the home roots.
Of course, no problem.
Awesome. Great to see you. Bye.
Bye.
Let's see if we can get another question. We will do number one right here on the top of my list is Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Kate. Oh, she's Kate. Kate, where are you calling from?
Alabama.
Alabama, Arkansas. And what is your question for Katie?
First of all, you are amazing.
Oh, thank you.
My question is, if you had been there for the wedding, what do you think a before the wedding scene with Kendra and Spinner would have been like?
Ooh, very good.
Cute.
I feel like it probably would have been a lot like, really?
That's fair.
Like, just so you're sure, you know what this means. This is a legally binding contract.
I think that
Really?
was everyone's reaction.
I agree. She'd be the voice of reason for sure. I
Yeah.
think
feel like,
Exactly.
yeah.
I
I feel
think
like Kendra would have been that for Spinner, like grounding him a lot.
yeah, I
We
think she
definitely
would
did that.
do really good at playing like the voice of us, of being like, you don't even know each other.
Right.
I think.
Yes,
She would
exactly.
be the one to say, when is the last time you talked? Sorry, Kate, I talked over you. Were you going to say something?
Oh, no, I was just agreeing with you.
I love that. Kate, thank you for coming on and asking a question to Katie. It was so good to see you tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yay, bye.
Bye.
Well, everyone's pretty quick, so I think I can get one more and then we can wrap up because it's getting late for Katie over there.
It is almost midnight.
I'm going to pick like totally random. Let's go here. See if we get Kylia. Kylia? Kylie, are you there? Oh no. We might not have a Kylia. We don't have a Kylia. Okay, I'll try one more and then we'll see what we can do. Okay, we'll do a. You got a half. You got a half.
Oh, I got picked.
Tani, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the lovely state of Iowa.
Iowa, I like that. And what kind of question do you got for Katie?
I love Iowa, actually. I went to Des Moines last year.
Oh, well, that's like my backyard, so that's amazing.
It was so cool. I've never been. We did a road trip from Toronto to Denver, and we stopped in Des Moines. It was so fun.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry, what's your question?
Well, now you got a place to crash.
Now I'm just amazed you know where I live. Most people have no idea what Iowa is. This takes me out.
I love that.
The Music Man is set in Iowa. Who doesn't know that?
That's That's my favorite. All right. My question went out of my head now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Really?
Yes, I had a whole question.
It's fine.
If it's gone, that's okay. But at least
No,
now you
that's-
know that you can offer Katie your couch to crash on if she ever travels.
If you ever come back to Iowa, like I'm here. Like, come on.
Absolutely. I loved it there.
I guess I have a question. Which of the Degrassi bands would Kendra's favorite be? Oh,
Just
the ones that you know
what,
about.
sorry?
The Degrassi bands.
I don't actually think I know of any.
Oh,
Spinner was in downtown
never been.
Sasquatch.
yeah, we had Downtown Sasquatch that your brother was in. So maybe we'll just go with
Well,
that. That's your favorite.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I would definitely have supported him in that because my siblings have always supported me in every band that I've been in. So it's just what siblings do. You show
That's
up
so
at
cute.
every gig, even if they're the only 3 people there.
And
That's
even if you
family.
heard him loudly playing in the garage every single night, playing his
Well,
drum.
yeah. So I would have probably been heckling him the whole time, but I would have been at every gig.
Hell yeah. Well, in season 2, you probably would have liked, if you weren't there for those scenes, you would have liked Lauren Collins. Paige started a band called PMS, which was Paige, Michael, Chuck, and the Sex Kittens. And it was a very like Spice Girls kind of vibe with her, Terry, and Hazel. Yeah, it was really, really cool.
I'm into that.
Cool.
Sounds
Tani,
good.
thank you so much for joining us. You're our final guest of the
you.
night. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, Katie. Bye, Jocelyn.
Amazing. Well, Katie, as you said, it is midnight where you live. You've been on with us for an hour. You got the full 20-minute breakdown of what happens in Degrassi about the school event. Thank you so much for doing this with us.
Oh my gosh, I have had the best time. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for all the love. I still can't quite believe this is happening because I'm just, like I said, I'm going to go to work tomorrow. I'm just going to be someone's manager and I'm not going to let them know this happened because they will hold it against me forever. But
I love it. I'm going to ask the chat, spam it with love, spam it with our Kendra emojis, get your gifts going, get your legs going, because I'm going to ask Katie one more time to tell us a little bit about the movie that you're about to premiere. And can you even tell us like maybe what your role was a little bit?
yeah, so the movie is about a man who is having the worst day of his life. Like he loses his job, his girlfriend, his flat, his car, everything all at the same time. And so he starts couch surfing, and then he just decides to willingly be unsheltered and just live life that way. And that's why it's called Drift, because he is set adrift. And I get to be the manic, angry little boss that fires him. So I was just channeling every bad boss I've ever had. So Tracy, this one's for you.
That's iconic. The link to donate to that to help make that happen is in both of our bios. You can go to Katie's account. If you're not following Katie, you should follow Katie. You can also follow mine. Quick plugs for some other things. If you want to get an autograph from Katie, Katie signed so many of these for us. You can get her favorite picture in the world of Kendra signed on Patreon. Patreon.com/DegrassiKid with the little I survived the Degrassi black hole sticker. This photo, like 50 different versions of this photo are going to be all over Iowa. It's going to be in California, Kansas. Now you've met the people who are getting these. I'm going to ask the chat. In chat, will you let us know if you are either got the autograph or are getting the autograph? We'd love to see that before we go. And if you join Patreon as well, at the end of the month, Katie is so nice. She's also going to be doing a cameo giveaway. She's going to be making a personalized video for one of you. So if you did not get to talk to Katie tonight, you might have the opportunity to get one. Taylor's is coming Monday. Bridget's getting the autograph. That is so cool. A lot of people here. Amazing.
Thank you so much.
We love you. Okay, Katie, you're finally free. I can disconnect you, but thank you so much for coming on live.
Thank you guys. I have had an absolutely amazing time. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for all the love.
Yay. Okay, bye, Katie. Have a good sleep when it
Bye,
comes.
everyone.
Yay! We love Katie. We love Katie. I'm staying on for another 2 hours, so you can stay. You can stay put. We can hang out. But I just have to, again, that was so freaking cool. We had Katie Lai come on our TikTok live. I feel so cool. Thank you, Katie. Bye, Katie. We love you. Also, shout out to Katie's mom. I love that we got to formally apologize to her mom on behalf of the Degrassi fandom. And I feel like that is not the end of our time with Katie. Katie is so cool. Again, she freaking signed so many of these photos for us. Yay, you're so welcome. 100 viewers. I know, it's been crazy. Signed 100, or about like almost 100 of these freaking autographs for us with these stickers. And she's doing a giveaway with us at the end of the month on Patreon. Yay, bye, Katie. We love you.